talk about the shape, the discipline of the side, because I mean, you see matches on a regular basis. You see the formations, you see the discipline, how they hold into their shapes. But with our team, is it excusable that perhaps some say that was nearly non-existent?
I think that's a coaching flaw now. There you have to hold the coach accountable. If your team cannot maintain a shape, maintain a formation, if they don't have defensive patterns, they don't have attacking strategies, that's a coaching flaw entirely. Now, we saw players like Ahmed Musa come on, Emenike, and they looked almost non-existent, like they couldn't play football to save their lives. But you're surprised that at club level, they are playing so well. Now, it's not that they were not dedicated, they were full of running, full of energy. Problem is, I think at national level, we don't tweak strategies to suit players' strength. We just have a pattern where Nigerians, we like to hold the ball. Unfortunately, football is changing. The club most of our players are playing at now don't spend too long holding the ball. Against Catalonia yesterday, I could see towards the end, we started getting cocky and confident, started doing pirouettes on the ball, started throwing blind back heels, some of which backfired, and we lost possession. It's typical.
Could the coach have told them to do all of those?
At that point in time, you expect to see some reaction from the coach.
Was he even on the bench?
We made four. we made four substitutions in that whole match.
Yeah.
Catalonia made 10. If it is truly a friendly, we truly want to experiment. Most friendlies an average of 5 to 7 changes, because you want to test as many players as possible. We approach this match like a do or die affair. I think the only surprises were Onazi and Bright Dike, probably because people have not really seen them in action for Nigeria. You know, for Bright Dike, everybody was wondering why you would drop Obafemi Martins for an MLS player. He's playing in Portland Timbers. They're not even the LA Galaxy. They're not even the Red Bull. Why would you play him? And I have to still stay with that argument. I'm not really, yes, you want to give a chance to the future, but I don't really think you should drop an Obafemi Martins and take
But
him.
it's not too late. The list is not out yet, is it?
The list is not out, but from Keshi's stance, it's provisional list. Everybody from the final list will come from the provisional list, barring injury or exceptions. For example, now we know Amiobi is out of it, whether we like it or not. We can keep deceiving ourselves, but Newcastle have invoked the clause in his contract that he will not go for international.
Why were we feigning ignorance initially? Because when Alan Pardew had said that, well, the coach knows, Keshi knows, but here the headlines were like, they just kept on saying, look, we don't know what he's talking about, that he will come and play.
He will come and play. I think that's because if we're really willing to follow it, I think that it might almost be, I think it should be illegal for a club to put such a clause in a player's contract that you will not go for national assignments. Would they do that with a South American player? Would they do that with another European player? Why would they do it with a Nigerian player? And we need to send a message across, because European clubs are beginning to take us for granted. There is no reason why. You have Benitez saying he's going to hold Mikel and Moses because you only need to be in camp a week or two to the event.
Well, as if it was Spain, they would have gone.
They would have gone. We saw Cote d'Ivoire last time out, everybody begging the coach for a little time. Oh, we need Yaya Toure, we need. And he said, no, this is my date. And on that day, the players were there. And if you're not going to be there, you know you're going to lose your spot. So the only fallout of this, I would say, is that we've now seen a lot of replacements. That if you decide not to honor national calls, you know you can be replaced. I think that is the major positive we should take from here.
And this, unfortunately, CAF has to lead this course.
If we keep waiting for CAF, the problem is, who is CAF made up of? It's made up of us, Nigeria, Ghana, Togo, South Africa, every member state. Now, if CAF is going to do something, it means that at a lower level, at national levels, we need to do something. Because we all make up CAF. If we don't do something, CAF is willing to sit back and keep enjoying being in the good books of FIFA as the obedient federation.
Wow.
It pays them like that.
But from this team, do you think we've seen something near the team that you could say, this is the Super Eagles of Nigeria?
Unfortunately, when the lineup for the Nations Cup comes out, it will look nothing like this.
Oh,
You're probably going to have, Mikel is going to be back in midfield, Moses is going to be back in attack. Yes, Ike Uche, Ahmed Musa, who did not start, will start. A lot of the players who started today, the brave MPL players, many of them will get in the squad. But in terms of starting lineup, I think when it's time for the Nations Cup, you will see your elders in Echejile, your F.A. Ambrose, they will all be back in the starting lineup. That's just the honest truth. A lot of good squad players here, but I don't know if you want this to be your first 11.
But was this result flattering for you, given the performance of the team?
I think flattering is an understatement. I think we got out there we got out there lucky. We dodged a bullet. Because had the strikers been more clinical, the scoreline would have been very embarrassing. Very, very embarrassing. I think the only positive was that we were creating chances ourselves. I mean, we saw Emenike's shot saved by the leg of the keeper. We saw 1 or 2 good attempts, which I think is impressive for a team that does not really know each other like that. And they play with 2 different philosophies, a lot of home-based players and some foreign-based players. But I think it was impressive that we were taking our chances. We were trying to catch them on the counter, knowing that we cannot hold possession. So there were 1 or 2 positives. But I think we really dodged a very, very, very
But
little
when we
bullet.
play Cape Verde, that likely will give us a shape or a look, maybe very near to what the team will be, you think?
That I don't know. The problem, if Keshi is taking that as preparation for ACM proper, because Cape Verde is at the Cup of Nations, that's the kind of opposition you will be facing, then yes, you will most likely see something close to that. But I think if Keshi, like I suspect, already has the foreign-based players, the people he wants already, and he's trying to build the rest of his squad and get the best for his squad, he might just keep testing a lot of squad players and give them limited run-outs to those he considers to be his first team. But what I would say is that if we don't want to be in for a nasty shock like Cameroon was, we should not underestimate Cape Verde in any way.
But is it such that, or could it be that he's keeping the team list or the team itself close to his chest, maybe not to let opponents see how the real team plays until the day?
This is my theory, and it might sound very controversial. For a long time, football administrators have been involved in selecting who plays for Nigeria. I think what Keshi might be doing is advertising some players to the NFF that this guy should be allowed to go for the Nations Cup. He's trying to prove that some people are worth it. He's trying to fight the cause for a lot of home-based players, which is one of the few positives I would say when it comes to Stephen Keshi. He's really fighting a cause for them that, look, we can put some of these boys, because in reality, all those technical committee meetings are usually a lot of instruction given. Like, we have players in England. You can't say you won't use players in England, because as it is now, even Anichebe still scored against Newcastle. So there are still a lot of options out there. So I think right now Keshi is really steamrolling the local players, so that when the time comes, his initial statement of trying to get 10 into the squad, he can justify it if he does do it when the time comes.